So I'm super stoked for you guys to listen to today's amazing interview with my friend Lin Williams, who wrote an amazing book called The 9 Little Words That Will Change Your Life and Business Forever. So I really want you to listen. These 9 words, they're very simple. They're very powerful, but they will absolutely change your life. We dove into so much in this episode. You're going to love all of her golden nuggets and takeaways. But in addition to that, don't forget that my free Facebook group is still open. If you go over to Facebook, just search Network Marketing Leads for Life. You can join the group. It's free. It's where I share daily tips, inspiration, motivation, and things to move you forward each and every day in your network marketing business. So guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week, I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve. So Lin, welcome to today's episode, and I'm excited for this interview for a number of reasons. Number one, I love interviewing people that love networking like myself and Lin. And, the backstory is we initially connected on an app called Shaper, and actually Lin took the lead and said, listen, let's connect on my favorite platform, LinkedIn, which obviously after her and I ended up getting on the phone, she also learned that I absolutely love that platform as well. And that's actually what my business is. But the second thing is she's a coach to coaches, and she wrote an amazing book called the 9 Little Words to Change Your Results. And we're going to discuss all of those things and those nine little words, because the podcast is called Network Marketing Made Simple. But if we just get rid of the word network, and it's just marketing made simple. And what I love about the book, it's 9 little words. It's a simplistic way to really change your life and results. So number one, Lin, welcome to the episode. And number two, coupled with that, talk to the audience before we dive into the guts of this episode. What was Lin's aha moment where she learned that the entrepreneurial road was the road for her?
Wow. Well, thank you for having me, Scott. And I'm so excited to be here and talk to your audience because, I think those of us who've taken that leap and walked away from, the JOB world, I think all of us have that moment. And for me, it happened in an instant. I was in technology sales, and I had a really good month, like a better month than anybody'd ever had in my office. And I walked into my boss's desk for the first day of the next month, and he said, "What do you got for me this month?" Not, way to go. Not nobody's ever done that before. Not any of that. Just, what do you got for me? And I just looked him right in the eye and said, "Not a damn thing." And I had no idea I was going to do that. My husband didn't know I was going to do that. Nobody did, including me. And it was just the right moment. I knew I couldn't keep doing it. It was just a negative environment, and I wanted more. I was putting myself out there the way you do in sales, right? And not really getting the return at all. And so it happened in an instant for me. And that was a really important moment in my life, and one I'm real grateful for.
So obviously there are techniques and strategies to everything. And I'm a systems driven person, going back to when I was a personal trainer and sports nutritionist. When someone wanted a result, I would say, what do you want the end result to be? What do you want your body to look like? How much weight do you want to lose? And I would obviously build a structure around the end in mind. Sales is no different. Sales is absolutely no different. So So talk to the audience a little bit about what had and still has you so passionate, not just about sales, but about teaching others how to improve in their sales tactics and sales skills.
I love that question because sales gets such a bad rap, right? Sales gets such a, nobody says, Mommy, I want to grow up to be a sales guy or gal, right? But what I love to teach people, what I love, and I always use this as my formula, is that at its best, selling equals serving. So when done right, you're not just selling, you're serving the people that you come into contact with through your sales process. And whether that's in the network marketing industry or not, I totally believe that people in the network marketing industry are more likely to see that selling equals serving because they often are so passionate about what they represent and why they represent it. Whether it's, they lost 50 pounds on this and it changed their lives, or, they had a skin problem and this thing happened, or, no matter what their approach is to their clients, they're more likely to see that selling equals serving. But that doesn't mean it's always easy to remember that and to really put it into practice. So that's where I think personal development comes in a big way. It's also just approach and being willing to keep reminding ourselves that selling equals serving, and we want to be that kind of salesperson, right?
I love everything that you said there, because selling does equal serving, and sales does get a really bad rap. And how I correlate sales now is actually connecting, and sales equals relationship building. For people that don't know this, the top paying profession in the world is sales. There's no cap. People that are in sales outside of network marketing, if someone's in pharma sales or medical equipment sales, or my sister, she's in advertising sales and she helps build websites, makes multiple six figures every year because she has her base salary and then she has quotas that she needs. So she can create that income. And that's any sales rep, but it takes a very special person. And, Lynn, if you take a look at the successful pharmaceutical sales reps, if you take a look at the successful website sales reps and the medical equipment sales and advertising sales, they all have something in common. Typically, they're people persons.
Oh, yeah.
They love, my sister is the definition of a mensch. To the T. My mom and dad did a great job of raising both of us as mensches. That's every Jewish parent's dream is having their kids as mensches. But the fact is, she's the pure, and I can think of all the people that I know that are in medical equipment sales and farm sales, and they're all personable. Now, it takes a very specific person to not only do sales, but if you think about the successful network marketers, right? Look at, and I'm sure successful network marketers.
I do.
They're outgoing, they're enthusiastic, they're passionate about what they do. And just like I was, when I was building my personal training practice, when I was building my gym, when I was building my network marketing business, as I'm currently building my coaching practice, the sales, that just comes naturally because I love connecting with people. I love providing them a solution. So here's what I want to, and I want to kind of uncover some stuff here, because again, this podcast it's about openness and it's about honesty. And I want to be very transparent with the listeners. Lynn, would you agree that not everyone is skilled enough or has the drive and determination to succeed at sales, but they could learn those strategies and techniques to get better?
Absolutely. 100% I agree with that. And I have so many examples of that throughout my coaching and my network marketing business, because I have both, right? And so I have coaching clients who were coaches who did not think they wanted to ever be salespeople. And so their coaching business was floundering. That's why I'm a sales coach, is because of those people, right? They were ex-ministers and teachers and HR people and social workers, and they became life coaches, and nobody told them they were going to have to sell something, right? And but they learn it. They absolutely, can embrace that selling equals serving, and change that mindset and go. And then in the network marketing arena as well, I have people on my team. I have one gentleman who wouldn't mind me telling this story. He's 82 years old, and he says before he found our team, he was really waiting to die. And he has not lit the world on fire in network marketing, but he has learned and he grows, and he's embracing social media. You'll be so proud of him because he's on LinkedIn, and he's learned a whole new way of communicating, and it's uplifted his entire life, right? So definitely it can have a huge impact on people, and it's definitely learned skills and learned mindset. You and I agree, I know, that 98% of what happens in sales happens between your ears. So it's all about that mindset, and it's definitely something. We may not be the natural people person, but we can learn it. I love teaching introverts how to network, for instance.
Speaking on that really quickly, and I want to debunk something for people. Every single human being has extroverted tendencies and introverted tendencies. So
Definitely.
that story, and I just want to put this to rest. That story that network marketers hear from those people that say, I was that introvert that still am, and I hate talking to people, but I did it anyway. I forced myself. It's bullshit.
Right.
I'm sorry. Every single human being has introverted and extroverted tendencies. It's just about when do they show up. So for me, I love being around groups of people. At the same time, when I'm home and I'm, outside of COVID-19, and I'm thinking to myself, do I want to go hang out in that big group of people and go to that restaurant or whatever? Or, what sounds really good to me? Laying on my couch, ordering in dinner, and watching a movie and relaxing. That doesn't mean I'm introverted.
Right. No.
It just means I want some quiet time. So it's an introverted tendency because I'm not forcing myself to go out and hang out. So every single person.
Yes.
The introverted tendencies that you hear a lot of network marketers have, they're not introverted tendencies. They're actually fears.
That's exactly right.
They're afraid to talk to new. I was talking to someone earlier today. She goes, I'm just afraid to talk to new people. And I said, then maybe you should consider not being in network marketing. She goes, what do you mean? I want to do this. I'm like, if you wanted to do this, you would want to talk to new people, because that's what network marketing is. And Lynn, that's another thing. Why do so many entrepreneurs force themselves to do things that they don't want to do?
Well, because that's what it takes to succeed, right? I mean, the people who succeed in business are, it's a cliche. We've heard it 1,000 times, but it's so true. They're the ones who are willing to do what the unwilling are not willing to do, right? And it is, I love that old saying about you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. One of my favorite personal development and psychology authors is Gay Hendricks. He has a PhD in psychology, and he wrote a book that he really ought to pay me royalties for because I sell so many of them for him, called The Big Leap. And he talks about how we all have a thermostat setting for success, right? And that thermostat setting is the top of your comfort zone. And when you start to do anything that you've never done before, when you start to do something new, It is human nature, no matter how successful you are. He was the personal coach to Michael Dell, the CEO of Dell Computers. And he said, he gave examples from his life. And anytime we do anything that stretches us beyond where we've been before, it's human nature to think something, say something, or do something to bring us back down into that comfort zone. It's like the thermostat kicks on and the air kicks in, and it's going to get cooler because you don't want to stay in the heat. And so, it's just natural. But the people who succeed are the ones who, instead of moving back into their comfort zone, say, I'm going to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm going to stretch that upper limit to include my new, my new skill, my new willingness to talk to people I don't know, my new whatever it is, right? Those are the entrepreneurs who make it happen. And, it sounds like such a cliche, but it is just entirely so true.
If you had to put your thumb on 3 of the most common quality traits that successful network marketers, business coaches, and entrepreneurs have, and there's a lot of them, but if you had to really dissect 3 that really set them apart from others, what would those 3 be for you?
So the first, I would go back to what we all learned from Napoleon Hill, and that's the power of decision, right? He said that, all the most successful people that he researched had a burning desire, and that they made decisions quickly and they changed their minds slowly. So that willingness to go with your gut, to make a decision, to just simply come right in on, I can decide and I'm going to stick with what I decided and go. That's a trait that, you can teach it, but boy, when people have it naturally and they're willing to learn it fast, it makes a huge difference. And then I would also say, another aspect that's so important for entrepreneurs is just being willing to listen to other people, being coachable, we call it in network marketing often, right? Being willing to learn. I was a sales coach and I started in network marketing. Imagine how I might have thought I knew what I was doing, right? But you have to be, but I didn't know what I was doing in that arena. So you have to be willing to learn, to not only learn, but apply. That's the difference between being teachable and coachable. And then, I would say the third thing that really sets people apart is just having the wherewithal to be a leader and build a team, right? Whether you're a brick and mortar business or whether you're in network marketing and you're trying to build a team, you really have to show up for other people. You have to show up for your clients. You have to show up for the people on your team. And you have to really embrace being a leader. I'd say those are the most important 3.
Yeah, I would have to agree with all of that because, having the wherewithal, having the drive. And I think the biggest thing that you said was the second thing, which is actually just taking action. So many people, they hire coaches, they get involved in network marketing, and they're just not consistent. And everyone thinks that, I speak about this often, Lynn. I always talk about treating your network marketing business, or any business for that matter, like a 401k and not like a lottery ticket, because if you treat it like a lottery ticket, you're going to crash and burn. And if you treat it like a 401k, it's going to pay dividends over time. So let's shift for a second and talk about this amazing book that you have written. Those 9 little words. So first of all, how did you come up with the book, and what are these 9 little words that really can change people's results?
So I came up with the book from many years of working on myself and learning from lots of mentors and other people. And I say in the book, and it is so true, that very little of this came from me. It mostly came from all the other teachers and mentors that I've had over decades, and And I just happened to synthesize it all a certain way, right? And the subtitle to the book is Releasing Old Patterns and Moving Forward with 3 Short Phrases. So the first things people need to know is you don't have to remember 9 things, which would have been way too hard. And I am committed to not ever writing a book that makes people's head hurt, right? This is not a book you have to really wrap your head around. This is a book you can just put, it's a tool for your toolbox, right? And it's not the tool, it is a tool, but it is a really good tool and it has universal appeal. You know, lots of athletes and people who work with athletes use this book. I obviously use it with people around sales issues. It's really about releasing whatever old patterns in your life, relationship patterns, work patterns. It just doesn't matter. It's universal so that you can move forward. And the 9 little words are in, as I said, in 3 short phrases. The first phrase is up until now. And what's so powerful about that phrase is it does 2 things. In 3 words, it does 2 things. It interrupts the old pattern of thinking without lying to yourself, right? Because we've all tried affirmations probably, right? And the problem with an affirmation, and you can really address this as a personal trainer, is when people say, I want to lose 50 pounds, and they go around affirming, I'm in the best shape of my life, their very next thought is, well, that's just a lie. Right? If that were true, I wouldn't need to lose 50 pounds, right? So up until now doesn't make us feel like we're lying to ourselves. We say, this is how it's been, because up until now, it's been that way. But it absolutely, in interrupting the pattern, lays down the next part. And then the second phrase is, I am willing. You know, somebody way smarter than me said, whatever you put after I am, you become. And so I am willing. And for me, what follows that is usually a bullet point list. I'm a list maker from way back. And so what are you willing to think, say, do, act on to change the results? And then the last phrase is no matter what. And that involves the power of decision, right? That involves deciding for something. And it involves faith, that willingness to believe in a result you can't see yet, right? So I am willing, and that has to be really solid. Like, it's not just kind of mamby-pamby, wishy-washy, I am willing. Yeah, maybe I'm willing, or, you know, no matter what. No, it's for sure no matter what. Like, you got to talk to yourself like you're a little kid, no matter what, right? And that's what gives it the power to stick.
And what I love about, you know, the book is that it's simple. And here's what I mean by that. You know, if you ever look at the book by Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within, it looks like a dictionary.
Right. It's big.
It's about 800 pages.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can get squirrel brain sometimes. I'm just not going to sit there and read an 800-page book. I'm being honest with myself. I'm not going to lie to people and say, oh yeah, I'm just not going to do it. But a book like mine, a book like yours, a book like Go for No, or The Science of Getting Rich, or Think and Grow Rich, where it's digestible. You can read that cover to cover in a short amount of time. Why that's so powerful is because you're taking people from one thought process when they start the book to another thought process at the end of the book in a very short amount of time. And when someone gets very excited about something that they read or hear, it causes a dopamine or an endorphin release. And if you act on those feelings of dopamine and endorphins within 48 hours, because then it starts to diminish. If you can, and you take that excitement and you put it into action, you will see a change in your business. And I think, you know, Lynn, I'm not going to speak for you, but, you know, what I know now through all the ups and downs of all of my businesses, the one thing that really separated the times where I was not achieving what I wanted to the times that I was one thing. I took action every day, whether it was a little or a lot, you know, and I talk to so many people, and I'm sure you do too. And like, I spoke to someone else, they're like, yeah, you know, I've kind of been, I took off for a week or two. There's no days off. Like, I'm
I don't
sorry.
even know what that means.
It's like, there is no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's
No.
just a day for me. And
Right.
again, you know, am I focusing on different things, different days? Absolutely. But I'm a farmer. I'm not a hunter. I plant seeds every single day in some way, shape, or form that will come back around and become a fruitful something for my business. So Lynn, let's talk about things outside of people reading your book, which I highly encourage them to do.
Thank
And
you.
you knowing network marketing inside and outside like I do, but also, you know, coaching and everything else that we're both
Yeah.
doing. What are two things to keep things very simple and very straightforward for that person that's listening to this, that's stuck, they're spinning their tires, they're not seeing the results they want, they're not closing the sales, they're not making the money? What are two things that person can do listening to this right now to start changing their business and their life?
So I'll tell you, Scott, I really believe in the power of questions. And all of my coaching clients can recite this because I say it to them so often, that the quality of our lives and the quality of our businesses are directly related to the quality of the questions we ask ourselves and what we do with the answers that we get. And so the first thing to do if you're feeling stuck is ask yourself, you know, where am I in the way here? What thought am I holding on to that is, you know, holding me back? What limiting belief have I bought into? You know, what is it that I feel like I'm not learning well enough or doing well enough? Or what am I telling myself I'm not good enough at? Or, you know, just what's your negative self-talk that's happening? That's a great question to ask, and just brainstorm it. Just make a list. And then from the 9 little words perspective, those are clues about where to start to release those old patterns, right? And move forward. So whatever you get from that list, you know, say you're in network marketing and you say, you know, the one you gave earlier, I'm just not good at talking to new people, right? So, well, up until now, right? You got to give it, you got to decide that you want it to change. And then you got to do something about it. And so up until now, I haven't been good at talking to new people, but I am willing to be coachable, to listen to my upline, to listen to podcasts like this that give me new ideas about how to do it, to do my personal development every day, to practice with an accountability partner, to I am willing to do all these things no matter what. And that really is, you know, that's the easiest, fastest recipe I can give you.
You know, I think as human beings, Lynn, if something sounds too easy or looks too easy, human beings find a way to self-sabotage or make it more difficult than it actually needs to be. And what I love about what you do and what you stand for is really simplifying the process of how to get from A to B, from B to C, and so on and so on, because it's not going to be an easy road, but it does not have to be a difficult one. We just end up overcomplicating the process for some reason.
Yeah.
And what I can tell people is, if somebody was to just pay to watch me do what I do every day and just kind of follow me around for 24 hours, they may be exhausted because I have I have a good engine, but they would be like, that's all you're doing? Because I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just relentless with
Yeah.
my pursuit to create the life that I deserve, but also to impact as many people as possible. So as we start to wind down, I do have one final question. But before I get to that, Lynn, how can people find out about your book. I know that there's a great free quiz and download that they can obviously take along with that. And how can they connect with you on social media as well?
Sure. So the book is on Amazon. It's 9 Little Words to Change Your Results. And so you can find it there. On my website, which is unstoppablepartners.com, there's a web form there where you can download a free 9 Little Words worksheet. And for those of you who are coaches or team leaders in network marketing, the 9 Little Words worksheet is great for using with your clients and your team, because you're going to have people who are telling you, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not, whatever their limiting beliefs are. This is a great tool to have in your toolbox. And so that worksheet takes you through how to do it for yourself, also how to do it with a client or a team member. So I'm happy for people to go and download the 9 Little Words worksheet at unstoppablepartners.com. And I also just want to mention that I am a big believer in women's empowerment, and I work in the network marketing industry with a women's initiative, and I host lots of women's networking and women empowerment events that are all free, and I'm happy for people to find those. They can find them at unstoppablepartners.com under the Uprising Events tab, and you can also find me on social media on Facebook at Uprising Unstoppable Powerful Women. It's a Facebook group, so come see me.
Love
to have
that.
You there.
And, for all the listeners, all that information will be in the show notes. And I highly encourage all of you to take advantage of everything that Lin has to offer, whether it's paid or free. She's just an incredible human being, and just really grateful to have her on the program today. So Lin, number one, thank you. And number two, final question, what does success truly mean to you?
Wow, I've given that a lot of thought, and I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. They range in age from 16, so I have one who's still in high school, to 25. And so success for me means being able to look at my kids and say, I went after my dream. I didn't let anything stand in my way, and you don't have to either. Being an example for my kids about how to, live their best life. That's what success looks like to me.
I can resonate a lot with that, being a parent myself. The first person that our kids look up to is us, and we want to set that example for them to believe in the possible, and they can achieve everything if they believe it. So beautiful answer. So Lin, thank you again for being here today. Truly grateful for you. And I know this is going to be one of those episodes that people will have to go back and listen to. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so appreciative for being here.
Absolutely. And guys, as always, we would love to hear from you, whether it's leaving a review on Apple, on iTunes, or on Google Podcast, or wherever you happen to be listening to this from. But on social media, let us know what you thought. What were your big takeaways? DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook. We would love to hear from you. So please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.